Oh, do you mind if I touch, if I kiss, if I held you tight in the morning light? Oh, would you mind if I said how I felt to me tonight? Again, 'cause I never ever felt this way in my heart before. Love is not a holiday in my heart. Yeah. Do you get to your place and we're hypnotized? Make sure that I'm getting to the sense. Look into your eyes. Jingle is true, but you try to you like a chili man. You won't find out if you never try. You can have love, but I bet you can't hide the feeling inside. Love is found the time, but you said, yeah. Can you find the time to listen? Yeah.
Shalom. Shalom, Israel. I am back. It's your boy, the People's Champ, once again. Once again. Gonna do a Saturday Night Live for y'all. Gonna get it going. Gonna jump right on in. You don't want to be here? Don't be here. January 29th. We ain't got time to play games. This is year going by fast already. Already. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one. We are gonna do this, y'all. You don't want to be here? Don't be here. You don't like what I got to say? Peace out. Holla back. Fuck out of here. Got time to play games with y'all. This is gonna be a little lengthy one, so I'm gonna need y'all to strap in. Got the candle. Got the incense burning. Shout out to Ashley. Pineapple is burning. Got my hydration. I got some tea, so y'all know it's on. I ain't had tea in a couple of videos. I got that brew. Got that Tetley tea going with a little moringa. Holla at your boy. That's the recipe. But we about to get started, y'all. We about to get started. We are going to be talking on today's stream about the making of a slave. Right? This podcast is for niggas that's tired of the bullshit. That's who this podcast is for. If you like the world the way it is, this podcast is not for you. You want to understand what's going on? This is the podcast. This is the place to be. It's your boy V. Holla. Got the tunes by L Young. He's singing The Elements, also known as Earth, Wind, and Fire. Shout out L Young. Holla at your boy. Yeah, we gonna jam today, y'all. Y'all gonna jam. You know the words, sing along. Sing a song. You know the words, sing along. I don't care how old you are. You should know the elements. Saturday night, y'all. We gotta go. Y'all can't be corny. Get your paper ready. Get your notes ready. We're gonna do this. We are gonna do this. I'm feeling good. All the snow is already gone. So we don't have to worry about that. At least here in North Carolina. Now, if y'all somewhere else, I know y'all probably still got some. We ain't worried about it here. Came and went so fast, it is gone. It's a little cold and windy out there, though, y'all, so button up. The Making of a Slave. We're going to talk about propaganda and philosophy. A lot of y'all, y'all woke niggas. Meaning you still sleepy. I'm woke, I'm up. That's y'all. And I hear it. I hear it in your questions. I hear it in your rhetoric. And I'm like, damn, you almost there. You ain't all the way up there. Still talking about, somebody said today, when we was oppressed, our ancestors, when our ancestors were oppressed. I'm like, what world do you live in, sister? What year did we stop being oppressed? I'll wait. We need to stop talking about things in context, or out of context, rather, as if it's not still happening, and it always has been happening. Because again, as I said before in previous videos, you can't fix the problem if you cannot correctly identify the problem. You're chasing the symptoms. You're trying to chase the stuffy nose or sore throat, not realizing y'all motherfuckers got the flu. You gotta do something about that flu. You need a hot toddy, not a tissue. You gotta sweat it out. What is it? Starve a cold, feed a flu? Is that the saying? Something like that, them old people used to say. Oh, boy. I got my notes ready for y'all. As usual, my phone ain't all the way charged, but it's going to be enough for now. It's going to be enough for now. I'm already calling this a part one because this is a lengthy topic. And if I try to get through it all in one video, we'd be here for 4 hours. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to keep it in a reasonable amount of time for part one, which I'm calling The Making of a Slave, Propaganda, and Philosophy. Black women. The name of the game is selling y'all dreams, selling y'all fantasies. Why? Because it's good economics. It's good. It's good. You're going to spend, how many of y'all went out today spending money? Raise your hands. Think about it. Be honest with yourself. Did I spend money today? Did I really need to spend that money today? Think about that. Think about it. Think about it. Oh, I gotta turn this down, or we gonna hear that beeping all night. We ain't gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna turn that down right now. I don't want to meet George Jetson tonight. I don't want to do it. I don't know why y'all wait for me to go live. Y'all to start texting me and crap. This ain't the time. Y'all had all day to text me. Let me get in my flow. Cause I ain't got time to be looking down. I ain't got time for it. I gotta stay in the zone. I got to stay in the zone. Okay, all right. Clear that out. Cause I don't want no more distractions. I apologize. I'm gonna share some things with y'all today because I don't want y'all to think my thought process is just coming, pulling it out the air. And I want to try to paint a picture. I want y'all to see the propaganda that's being sold to you. And I'm trying to make sure I have citations for everything I've shared. So if you're looking in the comments or the description, I will go back and make sure I post my notes in there if I haven't already done so, like I normally do. I don't think I did it proactively tonight, but I will try to go back or shoot me a comment or an inbox if you need a particular citation. The use of entertainment had been well known weapons of mass distraction. With the Negro mind and body enslaved to carnal pleasures and entertainment, the soul and intellect cannot be stirred to evolution nor revolution. That quote comes from Mind, Body, and the Moral Imagination in the 18th century British Atlantic World. I provided a citation for that particular article. Weapons of mass distraction. What was it? Did you miss it? The use of entertainment have been well-known weapons, plural, of mass distraction for the Negro mind and body. This is why y'all love games. Y'all love being entertained. Somebody's bouncing a ball, running with a ball, hitting a ball, kicking a ball. That's a distraction. Because while you're focused on that, in ancient times, the game was called discus. Read your Bibles. Discus. That would be your modern day football in America. They use that as a distraction to keep you away from the real issues. Things like economics. Remember, I'm always telling you, they show you this hand while the real trick is going on behind their back with the other hand. So they entertain you here. You're looking for the prestige. You're following that red bouncing ball that Christian Bale had through the whole movie, right? Are you watching closely, he said. You're not, because you're missing what he's doing behind his back. Well, that's the game the Greeks have been playing on us for thousands of years, including the last 500 here in America. They distract you with entertainment, with comedians and singers and rappers and dancers and ratchet TV. Y'all like to call it reality TV. It's really subjective reality TV. It keeps you, your mind and body, distracted. The Negro mind. Why is the question? To keep you distracted. Why? We're going to answer some of that today. What is the point of keeping us distracted? That first excerpt, like many of the excerpts I've shared, is their writing. This was 18th century writing. Remember I told you before, when y'all get books, go back to the 1800s and earlier. Stop reading this new age shit. Go back to see what they were writing before you could read. When they weren't worried about you, they weren't worried about you reading anything. Kunta. Here's something from yesterday to fast forward. An incoming Georgetown law professor prompted outrage with a tweet that said President Joe Biden would nominate, quote, a lesser black woman, unquote, instead of a more qualified man to join the Supreme Court. That was yesterday. This incoming law professor at Georgetown he's facing a lot of backlash. He had to take down his tweet. Because see, anytime somebody starts speaking the truth, they make them take it down. They make them apologize. But anybody can run around this country and say any lie they want. They never make them take it down. That's how you know, hey, it might be something I need to pay attention to. It forced this man to take down his tweet and make an apology in less than 24 hours. They didn't want that truth going out too much. But people had already, as usual, screenshotted it and shared it. This is a constitutional law professor at Georgetown. This is a Sambo from down the street, just talking shit. This is a constitutional law professor at one of the most prestigious universities we have here in America, in the world for that matter. Why did he say that? Was he wrong? No, he wasn't. He was actually on to something. He was on to something. Pay attention to what he said. Joe Biden's nominee, he's nominating a black woman instead of a more qualified man. And they phrased it that way because they want to create that sexism with a little bit of colorism thrown in there. To see, that's the entertainment value, and that's going to be the distraction that many of you pick up on. Oh, why is he talking about the sister like that? It ain't about him talking about a black person, because he could have said a white man. He said a man. I have to agree with him. But let's focus on the women aspect of it. Is this woman that Joe Biden Childs is her name, from South Carolina. Is this woman from South Carolina the most qualified woman, black woman? The answer is no. She's not the most qualified black woman. That's what should be outraged. Why is Biden so quickly? The man ain't even retired yet, and he already made this announcement. He's already telegraphed what he's going to do. We know where the pass is going. We already know. It's like you're watching the quarterback's eyes. We already see where he's going. Why would he do that? Why wasn't he looking the other way and then, boom, make the pass? This is what's wrong with Democrats. They talk too much. They telegraph their shit, and it's obvious. Right? The most qualified black woman would have been the judge out of California. I forget her name at this moment. That would have been the most qualified one. The reason Clyburn picked or is going to pick Childs is because he has to pay a debt. He got an IOU, somebody cashing in. Some of you a little bit, this is above your head. But go back to the Democratic primaries. I said to y'all then, go back and watch my videos. Never before in the history of this country for the Democratic Party have they ever picked a candidate who lost the first 3 states. It's never happened. Joe Biden didn't just lose. He lost bad. He didn't come in 1, 2, or 3 in any one of those first primaries. It wasn't until Obama put his finger on the scale, he called in a favor that he was owed to Jim Clyburn down in South Carolina. Jim Clyburn, in turn, started pushing Biden hard, while simultaneously Obama was pulling strings, calling in favors behind the scenes to get his boy the nomination. It's never happened this way. Not only did he lose badly, Kamala Harris lost badly too in the first 3. Those are normally, you have to come out, have a good showing in the first 3 primaries to even be in the race anymore. Biden was dead in the water because he had made that comment, you ain't black unless you with me. And a lot of black people hadn't forgotten he had said that to Charlemagne the God. So Obama made some calls. Clyburn is being a very powerful black man in the South, probably the most powerful in the South at this time. Said, all right, I'll do this for you, but you owe me one. Well, we're witnessing the OU1 getting paid back. Who is Childs? Childs, I think that's her name. Michelle Childs or something. I believe that's her name. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Clyburn's girl. That's his people. That's the reason why she's being pushed. It's a power grab or a further power grab by Biden. By Clyburn. And also it serves a dual purpose. It's the same game they ran with Kamala Harris. They want to blind you black women because they sell y'all dreams. So this is Biden and the Democrats selling y'all that black girl magic dream. Here we go again with another unqualified person in a key position, black woman, because Kamala Harris is unqualified. I've been saying this to y'all the whole time. I didn't just start saying this. Her administration is a mess. People quitting left and right, and there's all kind of scandals and stuff going on. Right? Kamala and Biden are known for two things: locking up black men. That's what they do, and they weaponize you sisters. Here's the trick: they weaponize you sisters while behind the scenes they got other stuff going on. Are you watching closely for the prestige? Okay. If you don't get the reference, I suggest you go watch that movie. It's on Netflix, The Prestige with Christian Bale. So they're gonna push this girl. Watch. This news hasn't broken fully yet. So some of you may be unaware of what I'm saying. Wait a couple of weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, it's gonna be a lot of talk about this. Now MSNBC and CNN and the rest of the political propaganda machine of the Democratic Party is not going to emphasize this point. Start watching some progressive, independent media on the internet. Watch what the real news is. The Young Turks, Tim Black, David Pakman. These guys broadcast live multiple times a day, 7 days a week. Don't act like you won't have access to it. A van is with some underground shit. Pay attention to what's happening. They selling you black women a dream because they need y'all's vote. Because the Democrats know they're about to get their asses handed to them. And without the black woman, they already lost the black male vote. The last election showed that. They gotta hold on to y'all, so they gotta feed y'all some red meat. That's why Biden did. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is the IOU to Jim Clyburn. Pay attention. And this white man, this law professor, tried to peep y'all the game and they shut his ass down. I have the link to the article in case anybody wants to read that one. Why is this important? So I'm going to back this up. I'm going to show you the original playbook on why this is happening. Okay? Pay attention. Pay attention. Listen good. Let me clear my throat on this one. Both horse and niggers are no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production, for an orderly future. Special and particular attention must be paid to the female, all caps, and the youngest offspring. Youngest is also all caps. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and division of labor. Both must be taught to respond to a peculiar new language. What I've just read to y'all is an excerpt from the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave. I provided a link to this book on Amazon. If you do not own this book, it's less than $10 right now. Buy this book. If you're not going to read it, keep it in your house. Somebody's going to read it. Hopefully, your children. You need to understand this. They're not going to learn this in school. Denzel tried to peep y'all to this book. If you ever seen his movie, The Great Debaters, he tried to peep you to this. Ving Rhames tried to peep you to this. He did he was in jail. His nickname was Animal. And he ended up having to go against his son in the movie. They were gang members out there in LA. I can't remember the name of that movie. Many black actors have tried to bring awareness to this book for decades. Both the horse and niggers are no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. Both must be broken, all caps, and tied together, all caps, for orderly production. Production of what? The production of the economy. It's all about economics. Dr. Claude Anderson tried to make you Negroes aware of this concept. Racism is an economic term, he said. See, the trick is, the dream they sold you is racism is prejudice, and racism is bigotry, and it's about black people not liking white people and white people not liking black people. That is not what racism is. Racism, write this down. This is a bonus. Memorize it. Racism is a competitive power struggle between groups of people. They're competing for wealth, power, and resources. And when one group has so much wealth, power, and resources, they can force the other group to act against its own best interest. Quote unquote. That's what racism is. It's about economics, wealth, power, resources. It's not about your color of your skin. Wealth, power, resources. Understand that. Prejudice and bigotry is what you think it is. Prejudice and bigotry are not synonymous with racism. The citation for that would be in Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Ournomics, the economic plan for Black people in America. Get that book if you've never read that one. See, the problem with Black people is we don't read. We only time we do read is for entertainment. Y'all will run out and buy The Last Unicorn. Y'all will run out and buy the Zane books. Y'all will run out and buy every book from Zane or Omar Tyrese, which is one of my friends. Shout out to Omar Tyrese, but y'all love being entertained. You don't believe in being educated, intellect, developing your mind, understanding economics, understanding business. This is why you fail at it. You're unsuccessful at it. This is why black people in America are at the bottom of the list. We are failing. We are failures. And a lot of that is not oppression has something to do with it, but it's not because only oppression. It's self inflicted, as Willie Lynch predicted it would be. He said to the other slave masters, if you follow my methods, they will last, I'm paraphrasing, for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands. And at some point, they would begin teaching these methods to each other. That's where we are today. Buy the book. It's less than $10. Buy it. It's biblical. And see, many of you don't understand that. I suggest you read the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 28, start at verse 1 and read. Because that's the prophecy and that's the curse that was going to be put on us. It's all spelled out. The Willie Lynch letter is telling you how that curse was implemented. Because, see, God's sword is the wicked. So he uses the wicked to implement his will. So his will was to curse us for not following his rules. Here in the new world, for all you Christians, when that was back in the day, no. Back in the day, you weren't put on a slave ship and taken to the new world, which the Bible identifies as Araseth. That was America. And once we got here, we would be sold to our enemies and they would cast lots for us. God warns us through Moses. Casting lots is an auction. Can I get a 1? Can I get a 2? Can I get a 3? Can I get a 4? 5? Sold to the man in the hat. That's what they did to us down in Charleston, down in Jamestown when we got off them boats. They cast lots for us. That didn't happen in ancient times. That happened beginning in 1619 here in the New World. And Willie Lynch describes those yokes of iron that they put on our necks. To see, that had to happen before it either. And how your children would be taken from you and given to another people, and there's nothing you would be able to do to get them back. That was a prophecy. Now it's our history here in America. This is what Pastor Porkchop hasn't taught you because he didn't understand what he was reading. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughters? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass her man. That's also happened here. A woman, that's a new thing. Didn't happen before. Now it's happening now in the last 50 years. This is the prophecy. Here is the new thing. A woman will compass the man. What does compass mean? Compass means plot against. So in the last 50 years, the black woman, the Israel woman, you Judah women have plotted against your black man. That's the state we are in today. Why? Because they were crossbred beginning in the 1700s to do so. Willie Lynch said it would take 300 years for this plan to be fully implemented. This was back in the 1700s. Add 300. What year are we at? It's not an accident, people. Think. I'll tell you something. I'm strong and I'm independent. You got that shit from Willie Lynch, word for word. He crossbred you to be that way. And I'm going to get more into that in part 2. I just want to wet your whistle a little bit today. But I'm going to get more into that in part 2. And he's going to tell you why he did it. A sound economics and a peaceful sleep. Because, see, they sleep good knowing you sisters is fighting and plotting against your man because you're distracted. It's entertainment for y'all. Y'all think it's funny. A lot of you. You're plotting against your man. You're compassing your man. Just like Jeremiah predicted. Just like Willie Lynch predicted. Colossians 2:8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. See, some of y'all claim to be Christians, but your behavior is not after Christ. It's based on the traditions of men. That's your white man religion. That didn't come from the Bible. That came from the Roman Catholic Church. That's the tradition they created. And the Roman Catholic Church led to all of these Protestant religions that we have now. That's your Baptist, your Methodist, your Episcopalian, your African Methodist, all of them, your Holiness, your Seventh-day Adventists. Google the origins of any of those denominations. That word alone should tell you a lot. Denominations, the root word is demon. But anyway, look up the origins of any of those so-called denominations, and there's a white man at the top of every one of them. Do it. Where in the Bible did God ever work through a white man for him to spread his word? I'll wait. A Roman? A Greek? When were they prophets? Throughout history, the only time God used a white man was to punish you, to whoop your motherfucking ass. See, this oppression that the sister mentioned earlier didn't just start here in America. It started in Egypt. And then we didn't get enough from the Egyptians after God saved us from them. So he said, oh, okay, y'all niggas real hard-headed. Y'all real stiff-necked. You won't hearken. I'm going to send somebody worse than the Egyptians. Because at that point, the Egyptians was the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Oh, that wasn't good enough for you. I'm going to send somebody worse. And swift like the eagle's wings, they cometh. That was the prophecy. 70 AD, they conquered Jerusalem. The time of the Maccabees. But before that, we went through the Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, before we got to the Greeks and then the Romans. We hard-headed. We didn't learn nothing from all them other captivities. Now he got the worst of the worst, and we're still under captivity with them. And they admired who? The Egyptians. That was their blueprint. That's still their blueprint. If you don't believe me, take a dollar bill out of your pocket and tell me what symbols you see on that dollar bill. Pyramids, the obelisk, what is that? We call it the what is that? The Lincoln Memorial or whatever the hell that thing is. They got them all over the country. All these Egyptian symbols. Why? Why us a Western civilization that has roots in Roman ancestry? Why do we have all of these Egyptian symbols? Why don't we have the Colosseum or some shit on our dollar bill instead of a pyramid? Mm. Why do they got a nigga hanging outside of the White House being hung by a string hanging on a dollar bill? Why is that? Y'all so stupid. You never even looked at the damn money that y'all always chasing the bag over. Yeah, the nigga is hanging, being hung, lynched right on the damn White House, right out the window. Lynched. Where you think that word comes from? Willie Lynch. Connect the dots. Beware, lest any man spoil you, lest any man ruin you. Spoil is not a good thing. Y'all always talk about, well, I'm going to spoil my kids. I'm going to spoil my man. Spoiling is not good. If you got meat out and it spoils, what do? You throw it away. It's no good. Lest any man spoil you through philosophy, the religion, their sciences, their isms, feminism, socialism, womanism. That's their isms. Come out from among them, God says, our God says, come out from among them. That's why we're being punished today, because we wanted to be like the other nations, the heathens, the pagans. We wanted to worship who they worshiped, dress like they dressed, and follow their customs. We've been doing this throughout history, in and out of captivity, because of that thing. This is why in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 through 15, tells us what our blessings would be. But if you don't hearken, here are the curses that will come upon you. From 15 on. Read. Those curses that you will be brought here, and all of the things that are happening to us here are written in that chapter. Written in the book of Deuteronomy. And vain deceit. That's what y'all have today. Vain, vanity. You give yourselves credit for unearned achievements. You think you know something you don't know. Everybody gets a participation trophy because you show up. You think you're entitled to things that you have not earned. That's the vain deceit. We're deceiving ourselves. After the traditions of men. Not after Christ, not after God, after these damn devils who've been whooping us and raping us for thousands of years. And you're still trying to follow them, which is why you go to church on Sunday, which is why you celebrate Esteros, also called Diana. That's the god of fertility. That's where your Easter eggs come from. That's where the Easter bunny comes from. Eggs and bunnies mean what? Or symbolic of what? Fucking like rabbits. Fertility. That's what the pagans were worshiping. The Bible says, do not follow those things. This is why you decorate the tree that God said don't cut down and nail to your floors and decorate with gold and silver. What holiday does that sound like? Y'all call it Christmas. Well, when Christ was walking the earth, they had another name for it. It wasn't Christmas. Christ was not born in December. Excuse me a second. Christ was not born in December. Nowhere in the Bible does it say Christ was born in the wintertime. Nowhere. Nowhere. They already worship these things. They stole our belief system from us, repurposed it, mixed it with what they were already doing, and sold it back to you. Excuse me, whooped it back into your ass through slavery in and out of captivity. The latest iteration of that is Christianity. It was made up by the Roman Catholic Church. They even changed the calendar because, see, they worship the sun. We were told not to worship the sun. We were told to worship the moon. The moon is the sign of seasons and days, not the sun, the moon. That's why our calendar was called the lunar calendar. The calendar we use today in the world is the solar calendar. That's what they believed in. They were worshippers of the sun, just like who? The Egyptians. Y'all don't know your history. This is why we keep repeating it. You're doomed to repeat your history because you don't know your history. You keep repeating it over and over and over throughout captivity, even though it's written right there in the book that y'all won't read. The average American reads less than one book a year. That's the average American. You know, you Negroes read less than that. But everybody's a scholar and everybody's so educated, right? But you don't read nothing. That's why you don't understand things. And I give y'all books all the time, and most of these books are less than $25. I give you books on history all the time. Look up and down my timeline. Look on my Instagram. How many books did I give y'all today? So far, I think we at three. And none of these books are more than $10. Hmm. How many books you gonna buy? They know this history. Your black ass don't because you won't read. You just believe anything Zaddy tells you. They sell you dreams from propaganda and philosophies. Come out from among them. Gather yourselves together. Trust not thine enemy. Titus 3 and 9. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. This is what many of you do. And God is warning you not to do this. You always got these foolish questions. But what about this? And what about that? And this and that. I'm giving y'all clear information today. But some of you in your mind, you're still doing that. Because you want to be like the white man. You want the white man to save you. Never trust thine enemy. You won't listen to your black man who loves you, the people's champ, who fighting for y'all asses. You gonna listen to Zaddy, who been fucking you in your asshole for 500 years. That's who you want to listen to. You want to listen to old Uncle Joe because you ain't even black if he don't say so. You want to listen to this old ass Negro spiritual magical nigga James Clyburn and shit like fucking Bagger Vance or somebody. The fuck? Y'all want to believe that dumb shit? Somebody being straight with you, giving you the history. I done painted you a history. Clear line. They all saying the same thing. And it's all about economics. They telling you their game plan. We gonna do all of this shit to you so we can sleep good and make money off your ass. There was an article I shared. I think black people. In fact, let me try to find it because I didn't put that in my notes. But I remember sharing it either last night or this morning. Black people have over $1 trillion in buying power. I don't know how many of you read that article. If you have not read it, you can find it on my timeline. Hold on, I'm gonna get it right now. Go to my timeline. I just shared it. I just shared this with y'all. Just shared this with you. Hold on. Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Right on my timeline. I shared it 7 hours ago. Here's an excerpt from that. And this is a comment right out of the article. The name of the article is Black Americans have over 1 trillion spending power. That's the name of the article. That's the picture. In case you want to see, I'm gonna make it easy for you to see what article to look for, right? It says in the article, still that money won't necessarily translate into opportunity to build wealth. Experts told Finnan, adding that building wealth isn't solely about having dollars to spend year after year. It's going to take sweeping federal policy combined with Black Americans investing in themselves in order to truly close the black-white wealth gap, according to experts. According to the experts. This article was in the Atlantic Black Star. That's your source. Y'all always talk about building generational wealth. The experts are telling you it don't matter without sweeping federal policies. I try to tell y'all this all the time. What built the middle class was big government with a lot of fucking guns. That's what built the middle class. It wasn't hard work. It wasn't education. It was big government making policies to benefit poor white folks who were starving after the Great Recession, and then it was supported, in case anybody got out of line, by government entities with a lot of guns. That's how it starts. And then you got to invest in yourself. You got to take advantage of these policies, said policies. It's not an accident that black people live in the poorest neighborhoods in this country. It's no accident. It was a plan. Willie Lynch's plan. You got to have a poor class and a working class in order to have a middle class and a wealthy class. You got to have one. You got to have those things. Which one are you going to be is the question. We don't invest in ourselves. And they further destroy. They go after the woman. They told you a wild nigga and a wild horse are the same, and we're not good for their economics. So this is why they use the black woman to compass the black man. That's the punishment that God set up and Willie Lynch implemented. They're using you, black women, to destroy the black man. Why? For their economic benefit. That's how it works. Y'all been taught by the white man that everything good comes from God, everything bad comes from the devil. That's not what the Bible said. The Bible, God says he in control of everything, good and evil. The devil works for God, not against him. He's like a pit bull that the guy lets off the leash and sits on your dumb ass. Some of you slow though, you shaking your head. No, not my guy. This is what the Bible says. That's all I'm telling you. This is what all the history books are saying. This is what the current articles are saying. And some of you are still shaking your dumb ass heads. Are you watching closely? That's all I got. That's part one. I'll run about an hour. That's part one. Part two will be coming soon, maybe even tomorrow. I don't know yet. And we're going to talk further about making a slave. And we're going to talk about how specifically they destroyed the black male image. In the meantime, your homework assignment is to watch The Great Debaters. Denzel, Great Debaters. Watch that movie. Your boy is out. Like, share, subscribe, tune in. Holla at your boy.